I won't say names. You're gonna find we're not gonna say a lot of names in this episode because there's some stories we got to tell of just can we do better.
The politicians are only going to do something if they feel that that voting bloc or that group is strong enough to sway an election, to primary them, to make them lose their election, whatever that is.
Being angry about something is not enough to do politics.
That should be mandatory. You should have a pocket constitution and Morton Blackwell's rules of politics.
We should make like a WHAM booklet where it's both. It could be the Declaration, the Constitution, and Morton Blackwell's rules for politics.
Yeah.
If I'm getting paid to spend hours looking into this stuff, to try to find this stuff, what about the average person that just, hey, I want to do something in my community. Who's doing something in my area? How can I meet with them? How much time are they really going to spend?
Yeah. If you are running a campaign, you need a campaign manager. You need a political director.
And I'll say this specific candidate is the number one person I hear people say, I'm going to leave that one.
Wham!
Wham!
James likes to jump the gun.
Yeah, we gotta.
You get excited.
I'm excited.
Hey, now he's excited. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of the WHAMCAST. Matt's back today. He's here.
Glad to
He's
be
back.
back.
He's not dying anymore of the.
How you feeling, Matt?
We'll see if I don't die during the show, but feeling a lot better. So glad to be back. It's gonna be a fun episode. We got a nice couple of topics to talk about. I think.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little. I got some things to say. Let's just start out with the theme for today is, can people take running for office and working in politics seriously, please? A little bit. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyways, I want to start with some events that we have coming up. James, you got a couple of things you want to mention?
Yeah. So, August 8th at Medina County Friends and Neighbors, which is at the Thirsty Cowboy at 9 in, there will be a WHAM YC roundtable. So it'll be us three up there asking or answering questions. We're not asking the questions; we're answering them.
We might ask some questions.
Oh yeah, we
can.
You never know.
Nothing's stopping us.
But so yeah, come out, ask some questions, meet us, learn about kind of what we are, where we stand on some stuff, and how you can get involved. And then to follow that up on August 14th, myself and Alex are going to be going on the Jake Underwood show. That's 9 to noon on WHK 1420 The Answer, or on Rumble, Twitter, YouTube. Search the Jake Underwood show. But yeah, that'll be at 9 in on August 14th, and it is a Open Lines Ohio. So feel free, call in.
That I'm excited about because we did that before.
Yes.
What was that? Start of the year, something like that. New Year's.
Day.
And that was a lot of fun. That was pre-recorded though, so we didn't get to have, a lot of listener interaction, but
now the callers can call in.
Yeah. You
I'm
can call
excited.
in and ask anything you want. That's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Jake's a great dude.
Oh yeah.
Always looking forward to that. So check that out. Matt, and you guys get some stuff.
I do. So on August 27th will be our American Night. This is going to be with Congressman Michael Rowley and Jake Underwood. So if you tune in to the show, you can meet him there on August 27th. That will be at 6 p.m. and you can RSVP through the Turning Point Action website. The address will be provided once you RSVP. And on September 19th, we have...
I'll mention real quick, Rowley's a really fun guy. He's
Rowley
a fun guy
is
to
a very
listen
fun
to.
guy. We've had him at Cafe Roma for another event, and it was a blast. So
I may not agree with all of his politics, but he's
Right.
a fun guy to hang out with. I will tell you that.
Yeah, just to update, so Michael Rowley will be taking over a portion of Wayne County as well. So
Yes.
we will hopefully have him in Wham area. Maybe have him on the show one of these times, or
That'd be cool.
yeah, it'd be a fun.
Ask
day.
him about what's going on in Congress.
Right. And on September 19th, we have a morning of history and health. That will be at the McKinley Presidential Library and Museum in Canton, Ohio. That'll be at 10 a.m. You can also RSVP through the 20 Point Action app, and I believe we will be having lunch as well, which should be paid for, hopefully. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Some fun events.
then Alex has we're
Yeah,
talking about
you
the
got
Ohio
it.
YR convention real
Yes.
quick as well.
Before, I almost forgot. But 2 weeks from now, we've been mentioning it up to this point. I think the last 2 episodes we've mentioned it. But Ohio Young Republicans is having their annual convention 2 weeks from now. They have some initial programming on August 14th in the evening. Convention will be on the 15th, and I think they have a gala after that. So a lot of fun activities. It's going to be interesting. Looking forward to it.
We might have some live coverage. I don't want to say anything's for sure.
James really
But-
wants to.
There's a chance me and Matt might get our hands on a camera and a microphone and go and have some fun.
Yeah, well,
We shall
I'll
see.
have to talk to them about that. Could be interesting. Talk to chapter leaders, see what they're up to. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, the point of this show is to highlight what young people are doing across the state. Right now, we're still kind of getting our bearings. I get it. We look like this incredible professional team, but we actually still don't know what we're doing. So we're learning. Once we kind of get the hang of it, believe me, we're going to have a lot of people on
Yeah.
and really highlight what young people are doing across the state. So that's something I look forward to, and I hope you look forward to as well. I want to give a quick shout out to our Discord real quick. We do have a Discord. You can actually access it from our website, whamohio.com. It's the main place we hang out and chat about politics and issues and everything that's going on. So you're a young person, you want to hang out with fellow young conservatives, it is the place to hang out. With that, I did just do some updates to it. I put a special help wanted page where we're listing all the things that we need help with in WHAM Young Conservatives. Biggest thing right now is that we need help with is communications. So helping manage socials, making flyers,
Sending emails,
Sending
messages.
sending emails. Right now, it's kind of distributed amongst the three of us, and it is really hogging on our time right now. So look, we're definitely looking for some help there. So if that's something you know about, if that's something you like, if that's something you're passionate about, hit us up. We'll talk to you about that. So again, we do have brand new merch.
Yeah.
Check out that hat. Look at that thing. Make Ohio great again. Is that the one with no, the other one has the little Make Ohio great again on the back.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple options for you.
We do.
So
Oh.
yeah, we got options.
Got the new hoodie out there. Got a new shirt.
Do we do?
couple new
I am
shirts.
waiting for the hoodie. I'm so excited for that.
I got my
Flock
tread on
shirt,
them
man.
flock camera shirt. It's it's
With
a
the-
bulldozer running over some flock cameras and it says tread on them.
That thing's
Um,
fantastic.
I know it's a bit of a weird color, but I recommend getting it in yellow. I
Yeah,
got
because
it
it looks
in,
like the old Gadsden flag.
I got it in gray or black. The letters don't show up the best. I will say.
I'll have to check that.
I don't know if there's a way we could put like a white border around the letters or something.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. I'll have
but-
to update that.
Until that changes, I recommend yellow.
Sure.
For that color.
Everything's an iterative process. This is why we test things,
Yeah.
because we find out, hey, we need some improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to my hoodie coming in. It's actually kind of inspired from Turning Point USA did a hoodie it was just a big red hoodie that said conservative on it, and they stopped making it. And that was my favorite hoodie that was like, honestly, of all the things they made, that was my favorite, and it was fantastic. So we're taking some inspiration from there. It says Wham Young Conservatives, big red hoodie. So
Nice.
that I'm excited for.
Nice.
Getting into it, I want to first start talking about what grassroots politics is like in Ohio. A little bit of backstory for me. I was kind of involved in a lot of stuff as a kid, dragged around to stuff, was around the original Tea Party movement back when that started in, what was that, 2012, something like that. So I got to some initial exposure there, but I really got involved in politics through college with Turning Point USA, running the chapter there, being involved with that chapter. There was a period of time during that where our field rep at the time was out on maternity leave and they needed someone to step up, and they were reaching out to the chapter presidents and stuff like that. I just so happened to have a bunch of free time. My classes were on only like 2 or 3 days a week. So I had several free days a week to go and help out. And I took that opportunity. It was a whole lot of fun getting to go around to different colleges in northern Ohio, from all the way from Franciscan on the east side down in Steubenville, all the way up to Toledo, helping them out. But that was during COVID, when a lot of groups were forming to deal with the fact that a lot of the school boards were locking down hard in the schools and really disrupting the students' education. And so there's a lot of groups forming to, help demask the schools, all that kind of stuff, keep kids from being forced into taking the vaccine. And the big encouragement at that time was, as a representative of Turning Point USA, was to go around and get to know those organizations, because they're tied with the high schools.
Mhm.
They know people in those high schools. Can we use that as a means to recruit and get young people and get some high school chapters started? So that was the intent behind it. But while I was doing that, I learned very quickly it is hard to find where the Ohio grassroots are. They have minimal presence on social media, online, anywhere like that. And it took me like 2 days to even find like 2 or 3
Wow.
organizations of just research and just studying things out. Once I was able to go to one of those grassroots meetings, then I started to meet the people, and they were connected with other organizations, and then you can start to see that network.
Mhm.
But until you got into it, it was like impossible to find, which really begged the question for me at that time. If I'm getting paid to spend hours looking into this stuff to try to find this stuff, what about the average person that just, hey, I want to do something in my community? Who's doing something in my area? How can I meet with them? How much time are they really going to spend?
Yeah.
5-10 minutes, maybe an
Yeah.
hour most.
They'll do a quick Google search. They don't see anything. They'll go, oh, well, maybe I'll look in a week or 2, but
Yeah,
it's
or they'll
probably
be
not
like,
worth it.
yeah, or they'll be like, nothing's going on in my area. Apparently nobody cares, and nothing's happening, and the world's going to end because the right wing doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember during that time I was helping you out a little bit, and I think we did find maybe an Excel sheet out there, but most of the clubs and the contacts were either disbanded or they're
Yeah.
not organized. Like the phone numbers were different, the emails were different, the leader was no longer the same.
Yeah, that was actually something Matt and I sat down for. We'd spend a couple days a week just sitting down researching this stuff, because once we start getting those connections, we can start building up that network. We built a spreadsheet, and we found, like, after maybe 3 weeks of work, we had a list of like over 300 organizations across Ohio. And I had conversations with people before that. Someone told me, and this was, I won't say names. You're going to find we're not going to say a lot of names in this episode, because there's some stories we got to tell of just, can we do better? But this was someone who claims to be big with grassroots. And this person told me there's probably no more than 50 organizations across Ohio trying to do something in their community. Some solid conservative grassroots. And that was dispelled almost instantly when we started working on this. So even people who were involved with grassroots didn't know how many people were actually trying to focus on issues and work on improving their communities. And this really woke me up to the fact that how are we supposed to fix this state? How are we supposed to improve this state? We always have complaints about what the Dems are doing, the ineptitude of the GOP. The way I've always seen it is the GOP, they take charge when the people don't, because at the end of the day, somebody has to make decisions for things. And if the people aren't going to do it, which is their job, then the GOP just has to come in and say, hey, we're just going to do it this way, and this is what we decide. And then it's never what people like, and then everybody complains, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Everything falls apart. So there's this issue of there's a lot of people passionate about the various topics and issues and candidates in Ohio, but it's so disconnected. And this was something I wanted to try to fix back in the day. I tried starting up a little nonprofit company, build a tech platform, things like that. I realized quickly I don't have a lot of tech skills, so that never really got anywhere. But I mean, how are we expected to really? You hear all these issues people have. How are we expected to actually get that done if no one is really taking things like online presence seriously?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, with that, I think there's a mindset of, oh, well, I feel this way about this issue. There's other people that feel this way, and so the politicians will do something. No. The politicians are only going to do something if they feel that that voting bloc or that group is strong enough to sway an election, to primary them, to make them lose their election, whatever that is. We saw that with the property tax group. You see the initiative to ban property taxes. It starts to get a lot of momentum, a lot of talk in the news. They're doing stuff. They're making work. And you see gubernatorial candidates start to shift to pander to those groups. You see the governor create a commission or something to look at how they can reduce property taxes in the state legislature.
Which commissions are usually just BS. But.
Yeah. And you see other bills start to pass that are supposed to help relieve property tax. But now, after that's not going to be on the ballot for sure this year, who knows when it'll be on the ballot. They're trying for next year. The politicians now don't care about that issue. So if your issue is something, you need to form a group that's active that can change elections. Otherwise, nobody's going to address your issue.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the cause of this is, because I can tell you firsthand, running a grassroots organization takes a lot of work. There's a lot to it. It's not just, oh, we have a meeting and we magically get people to show up and it goes spectacular. There's a lot of work that has to go on behind the scenes, and it requires a full team dedicated to specific roles. And so I don't know what's the cause of a lot of this. Maybe it's lack of training, that a lot of these people are just passionate about something. They want to put something together, but they don't necessarily know how to run an organization.
Well, I was talking with somebody who is in a nearby city trying to ban flock cameras in their city. Mm-hmm. And they've got the language, and they've talked with lawyers and different things and whatnot. So it's pretty good language to ban it.
Yeah.
But this person does not understand how politics work. And that petition is not going to get anywhere. Even though it's a good cause, I support the cause. I'd sign on to it if I could.
Yeah.
but it's not going to go anywhere because the people leading that petition do not understand the dynamic of a city council's politics, which is completely different than a state level, national, and people don't even understand that. But you got to understand how your local government works in order to be effective at grassroots politics.
Yeah, and that's something you've been building experience with, because you've been helping out with the Medina city council.
Yeah.
I think you were helping with their recharter board.
Yeah,
You've been going to meetings.
So I sat on the charter committee. We didn't change anything in the charter. And then
Which, quick shout out to this kid. Come on, he's just turned 17. He's already been on a recharter committee for his local city. This dude's going place. Come on.
Well, that wouldn't have been possible without McFan. So, they are the best grassroots group in the state.
I give credit to
amazing.
Lisa.
Lisa's amazing.
They do it right.
But yeah, I've done some stuff with city council and talking with other people. I've started to observe kind of how things work, and that helps turn into, one, how to win elections, but two, when you are underfunded, like many grassroots candidates are, because they don't get a constant stream of income to their organization, how do you function? And it takes time. Like, I don't understand how some people do it. Like, just it's a lot of work. And even the little bit I've helped out with McFan, it's a lot of work, a lot of time. And it's not necessarily difficult work. It just takes a long time to get done.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of tedium.
And the speakers, like, if you try to reach out to politicians, they don't really care. Like, most of the speakers don't really care when you reach out. It's like it's a lot of work. So thank you for the people that do come to McFan and do speak and do listen and ask questions. But it just kind of shows the overall health of the state when it comes to politics, because you need to have a healthy balance between the Republican Party and the conservative grassroots. Because
Right.
if you don't, one's going to dominate the other. And we see in Ohio that the ORP dominates over the grassroots. Part of that is the grassroots' fault. Part of that is the ORP puts their hand on the scale in certain races. And, we look at the Secretary of State's race. They tip their hand in that.
Secretary of State, governor race.
Yeah.
A few of them, yeah.
But if you don't have a strong grassroots group, like what I was talking about earlier, they're not going to change what they're doing because they don't fear re-election. Because there's no strong group to say, we're going to take you out. There might be some groups doing something small in one district or two, but it's not a mass campaign to gut state central committee because we don't like the way they're handling stuff.
Yeah. And one thing that I'll see every now and then is you will get organizations come up with those kind of missions, but the problem that they end up facing is they oftentimes have a leader that sees themselves as the savior of Ohio, that they're going to step in there and they're going to be the ones to fix it. And you just got to follow them and do what they say. And you get these big egos into the grassroots. And I'll say this, Turning Point USA, I learned this back when I worked for them. They've got three attributes that they look for in a good grassroots activist. The first is grassroots humility. The ability to put off your ego and realize this isn't about me. This is about my area, my community, the people around me, the issues, and they're able to humble themselves, put off the ego, and focus on what actually matters. And that is a very important thing in leadership, that if you don't have that, I see organizations fail all the time because they don't have that.
Yeah.
The two others real quick. Warrior spirit, just that ability to actually fight for things, which I think a lot of people have that passion.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that Ohio grassroots does well. Is
They've got that passion.
They have the drive and the passion to continue even when people say no.
Right. And the third thing is to constantly innovate and try new things. If something's not working, stop doing it.
Yes.
You've got to be able to gut dead weight. And especially if you're a lean team, you don't have enough volunteers, you haven't got enough people on your leadership team, you've got to be ruthless with things that are not working. And I don't know if there's just a lack of training, if people don't have experience in this stuff, if people's egos are getting in the way, but there's a lot of these grassroots organizations where it's just they're not getting anything done because a lot of times I feel like they don't know what to do. Like, I've seen plenty where it's just one person running it. They do everything, and then they quit because they're completely burnt out.
Yep.
Because they would not, and they had like several dozen people showing up to their events, several people passionate about the organization, and either some people wouldn't step up because their ego wouldn't let them do the tedious work that really is politics, or this person running it just wouldn't give away their responsibilities to somebody else, wouldn't trust somebody else, or just didn't know to reach out to and utilize their members.
I think that's why WHAM does so well, because we don't have that leader, that's just built off ego. We pass around different,
Yeah.
things to do. We have, our executive board, but then we have a couple others on the side that do, help us out with communications, events, things like that. And I think when you have, these other different types of, leaders that people want to be engaged, they have a thing to do, and, they can meet these politicians, they can help out in different ways. It's not just like going to an event, just sitting there and listening. They, can feel engaged, they help out, they make a difference. And like you said, Alex, I think, if it's just one person leading it, they get burnt out, the organization doesn't, function well, then it's over with. So I think that's what Turning Point does. They have all these people that help in, well, they have a bunch of people in different areas. They, like us, for the Healthy Commission or Healthy Americans Commission, I'm kind of the leader of that. Alex helps as well. So it's not just, Brandon who's looking there. They have us that can help set events, help find people that want to be engaged. So it's just not sitting on Brandon where, he has to deal with that. He has to deal with his other coalitions. So he's not feeling burnt out.
I'll correct it for the record. I don't actually do that much with that.
Well,
I've got so many
That's
other
Matt.
responsibilities outside of events
you
that
do,
it's
but
just
you've definitely helped out too. So we appreciate anything we can,
Yeah.
get from anybody. So
And if you're a leader of one of these organizations and you want to retain people, showing that you trust some of your members enough to give them a responsibility, even if it's small.
Give them titles.
right.
Yeah, give them
Titles
titles.
feel important,
It's al-
especially with younger people. Give them titles. Even if the title is like head volunteer, give them a title. They will stay longer.
That's straight out of the Morton Blackwell's Rules for Politics.
Yep.
You know what?
Leadership Institute, baby. I love it.
You know what? If you want to do good in politics, read Morton Blackwell's Rules for Politics. Memorize them, keep them in your pocket, have them on you at all times. Those are the means to success in politics, in grassroots.
That
and
should be
everything.
mandatory. You should have a pocket
Honestly.
constitution and Morton Blackwell's Rules of Politics.
We should make like a WHAM booklet where it's both. It could be the Declaration,
Oh.
the Constitution, and Morton Blackwell's Rules for Politics.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to make a book or booklet or anything, so that might require a little bit of learning, but we can
Hey,
can look into
innovation.
it. Innovation. That is
Innovation.
true.
There we go. No, but I think the thing is that if these grassroots groups want to take it seriously, something needs to change.
Right.
If you are a local community member, a discouraged voter, disenfranchised citizen, whatever, you feel like the party just controls everything, whatnot, reach out to us. Even if you're not in the area, we'll get you in contact with someone in your area. Or if you don't have anybody in your area, the resources, the means, the advice, the help to start something. And it could be something as small as we're just going to change our city councils, our school boards, and
Mhm.
our county central committee.
You don't need to be the savior of the state. You can
Exactly.
fix your town.
And here's the thing. Let's say that there's 88 counties in Ohio. Let's say 50 of those counties do something. We'll use the example of banning flock cameras, just because it's easy to think about. Then that puts pressure on the state to do so. So the state passes it, okay? Let's say then 30 states pass something like that. Then that puts pressure on the federal government. It's local work. If you get all your city councils to do something, that puts pressure on the county. If you have a problem with your county, maybe it's better to start at city council and get the problem more name recognition and to get more people to volunteer and to help out. And then when you have that organized group, go to the county that's maybe less friendly than your city council and go, look, we did this here, we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different resources There's a lot of different ways, but until Ohio grassroots and us, like the average day citizen, starts taking it seriously, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, politics requires a lot of very tedious grunt work.
Yes.
And being angry about something is not enough to do politics.
Yep.
I've seen plenty of campaigns where their whole premise was, I'm angry about this, and then they have no issues. They don't organize anything. They don't know how to run a campaign. And it ends up messy. It ends up disastrous for them. It ends up disastrous for the state because it becomes an absolute laughingstock of a campaign. But I do want to talk about, that's kind of the grassroots side of things.
Yeah.
There's so much potential in Ohio, especially with grassroots. It's tough because I feel like a lot of people don't know what they're doing, or maybe it's a training thing. I mean, honestly, that's trying to help teach that stuff is actually going to be a big part of what my new role with Ohio Young Republicans is going to be. It's going to be helping a lot of the chapters around the state, because a lot of these people are new to politics. Some are not, but a lot of them are new. And there's a lot of things to leadership that you just need to know so that you're not just running around in the dark. You're not just trying things randomly. And you're learning how to organize. So that's actually going to be something I'm going to be focused on. And that itself is going to require a whole team.
Yeah.
So, if you're with Ohio Young Republicans, if you run a chapter, and if you have some solid experience in leadership, reach out to me, because we're going to need a lot of help to help the chapters, because there's so much potential in Ohio. There really is. There's so many solid people, but the problem that tends to happen is they're disorganized. They don't necessarily have a lot of training in this stuff, and they're just angry about issues, and they don't know how to utilize that. So there's so much potential. That's the grassroots side of things. I find that a lot of these problems trickle into various candidate campaigns. And this is definitely going to be an area where we're not going to say any names.
Well, we might.
You might slip out.
We might. We'll see.
This is a fun part right here.
There's one name we might mention specifically. We'll see. Because even just this year, our interaction with trying to help candidates and trying to get them elected to state or local or county or whatever office, I feel frustrated, because it's like I'll interact with some of these people and it'd be like, do Republicans not know how to run a campaign anymore? Do people not know what they're doing anymore? Do people not research things and study things? And
the lawyers took over Capitol Hill, and now they've taken over campaigns.
And it's like, or even the poli-sci majors,
Oh
because
my gosh.
Can I just say it? Poli-sci is not a science. It's a bunch of book education, and it has no practical experience in politics. If you want to know how politics works, be involved in working campaigns, be involved in grassroots, take trainings in leadership and all that stuff, and you will know way more about politics than an education in poli-sci will ever give you.
Oh, 100%.
And sorry to all the poli-sci majors who are listening to this, because I'm sure there's probably a few of you. This is a political podcast, and I'm sure there's quite a few of you, but I'm sorry. Your major means nothing. Roast us in the comments.
Oh, but I mean, it's been difficult as being the political director, wanting to do events with candidates, wanting to get these candidates in office. It's hard when candidates don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
We've had some interesting conversations with some of these candidates. Some of them, it feels like a brick wall. Like they do not care what you're saying because you're not a donor. That's got to change. Now, maybe that is the way you are in private, whatnot. That's the way the campaign works. Okay. But when you're talking to voters, especially young people, when you need young people to vote for
Mhm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
Especially when young voters are more disenfranchised from the GOP than in quite a while.
Right.
like I thanked this person for voting for a piece of legislation that's not very common, not very well known. Okay, gets about 20 votes on an amendment when it gets brought up, maybe 30 if we're lucky. This person just smiled and nodded his head, and I'm like, okay, so I didn't say it, but in my mind I'm like, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And then this person just went to the next question.
Yeah.
So, like, you vote on those things. Do you not know what you're voting on? Like, come on, guys. We got to do better.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. It was a special private sit down. Big name. You would know it. I'm not going to say it. But it's this attitude of like, this person talked to us like we were like 5-year-olds.
Yeah. I felt like I
Like
was in
it
kindergarten.
felt like almost insulting.
Yeah.
The way this person was talking to us. Like, we didn't know what basic terms in politics were. And this person had to explain them to us, and and tell us why it's so bad. And us young people, we don't know what we're doing. We're just a bunch of socialists. And
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, apparently, he said one of the people who asked a question about the gas tax was a socialist because he wanted to suspend the gas tax.
which happened to be a bill currently in our state house, sponsored by the most conservative members of our party.
To me, getting rid of taxes is not socialist. But
yeah.
that's
Well,
up for debate,
this person
I guess.
proceeded to tell us that the lobbies told him that they like it, so we should keep it. So,
Yeah. On the flip side, though, we'll talk some more about the other candidates, but I want to give a huge shout out to Jay Edwards.
yes.
Jay Edwards took the time. He reached out and wanted to sit down with us before a Lincoln Day dinner. Got up here early, sat down with us. Actually, he gave a little 5-minute spiel, just who he is, what he's running for, what he's going to do for the state. But then it was just, what issues face you guys that I can help with? What can we do on the campaign side while we're in office to do that? And we talked about everything, whether it applied to his office or not. I mean, it was a very productive conversation.
And he was very thoughtful with his answers. He really thought things out and explained them, and was like,
it was thorough.
yeah, it was.
It wasn't just I like that. We'll work on that. No, it was explain more. Well, okay, so we're going to do this. How would that fit into this thing? It wasn't just a dry conversation. There was depth to it, and that shows. And I think voters see that. They see how real candidates are.
Yeah.
And to the candidate we were talking about previously, I think it's going to show that voters are going to see through that.
Yeah, Jay Edwards, I have been very impressed with the way he's been running his campaign. I wasn't sure about him up to the primary. I did end up voting for him, and I could not explain why at the time because I liked Rogner. I knew her. There were some things about Edwards I wasn't sure about, but after the primary, getting to meet him, I felt very happy about my decision to pull the lever. He's been doing a very good campaign.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing because it's like,
and it's a grassroots campaign.
It
He's
is. It
running
honestly
a good
is. It honestly
grassroots
is.
campaign. So if you want advice, look at Jay Edwards' campaign. Follow some of the stuff they do.
Yeah, because we're in this pickle right now where there's going to be a lot of big races this year, and it feels like there's so many candidates that aren't taking things seriously.
Yeah.
And it's like we've had to sit downs where it's like, okay, who are we going to help this year? And it's like, well, Edwards is good. And
That's
the
about
conversation
it.
about ends there.
Yeah, I mean, we have the most watched Senate race, I would say, now that Maine's done. Ohio is the number one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fox News poll came out yesterday. Sherrod Brown's up 8 points.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why is that? Because the GOP and John Husted are not taking the race seriously.
Yeah.
They think that they're going to be able to run with the Sherrod Brown's 2 liberal for Ohio like they did in 2024. That's not going to work.
And
Because
Sherrod always pulls in the moderate voters.
the reason
the
that
moderate Republicans.
the reason that worked was you had Trump making that claim about Kamala, which there was like they had the backing, and you remember the ad, she's for they, them, not us. So that then transferred to Sherrod Brown. But now that people don't remember that from 2 years ago.
No.
It's now, oh, well, who's going to do better for me? And another thing is, it's a 2-year term, if I'm not mistaken,
Correct.
because it's a special. There's some people I've talked to that go, I'm all right with Sherrod for 2 years because I want to get John Husted out of politics. And
Because if I mean, realistically, if Husted wins that, he's going to run for re-election in 2
Yeah.
years, and then he's in there for 6 years. And I know people that don't like it.
yeah, and whether that's a good way of thinking or not, that's not what I'm
Solid
trying
Republican people, I
I'm-
should say.
Yeah. I'm not trying to, get into that debate of whether that's a good way to think or not. But that just shows that the campaign needs to take things seriously.
Because the voters are wrestling with those decisions.
Yeah.
They are thinking about, well, I don't want the Democrats to hold power, but like these people that have been forever in our politics, I want to see them gone too.
Yeah.
I'd like to see someone fresh, and what's the best way to get someone fresh is to get this person to lose, and we get somebody better in 2 years.
Yeah.
There's people wrestling with that decision right now
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they're so turned off from some of these candidates.
I've talked with a lot of them, and it's in areas that they need to win.
How many people off the top of your head would you say that you've met so far that have told you that they're going to leave at least one race blank this November?
Man.
That's
Not any specific race, but like at least
Yeah.
one blank.
a
A
lot.
lot. Yeah.
I don't know if I could give an exact number, but I mean, do you have a number, Matt? Roughly, like ballpark it?
Oh man. I think a lot of our YRs and even people outside. Yeah.
I mean, within the organization.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And among young Republicans, there's a lot, let alone the Gen Xers and whatever, and the millennials. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that I've talked with. And, well, some people go, oh, well, you haven't talked to everybody in the district. No, but it's reflective. It's like a poll doesn't pull everybody in the district. It pulls so many, and then it shows a trend.
Yeah.
Like,
And even take for account our pool of people we know is probably biased because we're inside some of those
Yes.
grassroots communities and stuff. So it's probably less of a percentage than that, but still that's not a good thing if you're the GOP. And
No.
I keep hearing this message all the time. Well, if the Dems win, it's because the Republicans weren't loyal enough. And I hear these deflections of when somebody will tell me or tell somebody else that they're going to leave a race blank on the November ballot, someone will chime in and say, oh, so you want the Democrats to win that? So you're voting for the Democrat? And it's like, no. And what a nasty deflection that is. Because what that's doing is blaming the voter for the fact that the party has a very poor candidate that does not get people to vote for them.
yes.
And that's a major deflection. Like, honestly, that whole attitude is going to turn so many people away from the GOP even further. Because if the Ohio Republican Party is going to tell anyone that does not vote for their candidates that there's some Democrat supporting leftist, you are literally pushing people away. Why do you think nonpartisans make up the majority of Ohio?
What is it, like 60%?
Yeah, it's like it's about there.
Yeah.
It's getting up to 60% if it's not above that now. Why do you think so many are nonpartisan? Because people don't like what the parties offer.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so where's the accountability from the party? Will there be an accountability from the party?
No.
I've heard people say, I want some of these Republican candidates to lose just so that goes on the ORP's record, that they could not get people to win because of what they did.
Which
That there's not going to be any and they've told me there's not going to be any accountability unless Republicans lose.
which I understand, and I see both sides of it.
And it's so tough.
It is.
Mhm.
The
It is.
decisions people are being forced to make right now, because they love their state. They want to see Republican victories. They want to see things get better. But if Republicans aren't delivering, right now we have full control of the House. We have full control of the state House. We have governorship. We have presidency.
But we're not delivering.
What's being delivered? It's not much. And so people are saying, what will get the Republican Party to finally take these issues seriously? Maybe we got to embarrass them a little bit.
Yeah.
And people are wrestling with that. And that needs to be the biggest talking point amongst Republican parties, whether it's county, whether it's state, whether it's national. This lack of delivery and accountability for poor candidates and poor takes on issues is going to get us to lose seats. Because there's enough people that would rather see Republicans lose than win and do nothing.
And now it's creating more single issue voters. Like there's people
Yeah.
that are voting based off of how my representative handled the Epstein files,
Mhm.
how my representative handled
Iranian
the-
war.
the Iran war, or how is my representative voted on the budgets? That you're creating more of those. So we look at congressional races in Ohio. They don't look good for the Republicans.
No.
Now, why is that? Because the candidates are coming out with bad votes and bad takes because they have to represent the whole district. And I put that in air quotes because I think that's a BS answer. But we'll go with it. We'll be nice today. Come talk to us in person.
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about some other candidates about taking office seriously. Won't say names, but
We're being nice here.
there is a candidate.
This is to help people do better. This isn't to just blast people.
Yes.
We want to see things better.
And if I'm talking about you,
This is tough love.
and you know who I am, and you know I'm talking about you, please talk to me. I'll help you. Okay. There's a candidate that we've heard speak before that we go, no shot. This person wins. Okay. We've offered help from WHAM. I've offered my personal help. And this person has asked my advice on some different campaign issues, help with different events, parades, whatnot. But it kind of stopped about there. If you are running a campaign, you need a campaign manager. You need a political director / field manager.
Even if it's all the way down to a small local position.
Exactly.
Because you need someone to bounce ideas off of.
and
And
you
to
could-
tell you that idea is stupid.
You
and
could
shouldn't
have
check.
your campaign manager run the field operations too. When if you get down to like school board and city council, you don't have to have a grand operation for school board.
No.
But at the same time, you need somebody else there to help rationalize your thoughts, to help think stuff through, give you other opinions. So when you already have a tough race that could be pulled out, it could be, but you don't take that office seriously, and you just kind of, oh, well, I wanted to do this because I think I'd like it, and it looked open, and
Right.
come on. Run for something if you're passionate about it. If you're not, don't run. But if you're going to run, please take it seriously, because we have opportunities to make gains in the state of Ohio to put people who I think would be good in office. I think this person would be good in office. But you have to
Up
take
against
your
a very
campaign
prominent Democrat too
Mhm.
that needs to get gone.
You have to take your campaign seriously. And if you don't take your campaign seriously, you're going to lose. And when groups offer help, take that help. Reach out to them. Be like, and then if you find out they're not a good group or whatever, okay, you don't, but reach out to that group to see, well, maybe they could help me plan some events. Maybe they could help
Yeah.
me with some name recognition. Maybe they could help me with some door knocking.
You need help, and that's okay.
You need door knocking. Everybody. I need door knocking. Alex needs door knocking. Matt needs door
What
knocking.
do I need door knocking for?
I don't. The WHAM budget.
Like, hey, will you please give money to Wham?
Yeah. Quick shout out. If you want to help us and you can't give your time, donate your money.
Yeah,
We'd love to
whammohow.com.
kinda grow this, relieve
some merch.
Alex's pockets a little bit, because right now the budget's just him. But yeah, please take running seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that happened a lot in Medina County last year with the city council races.
Yes.
Both in Medina City, in Wadsworth, there was a lot of candidates that we needed to make ground to keep or maintain or regain control on those city councils. They put their name out there, they got on the ballot, and then they never door knocked. They never talked to anybody.
There was one candidate who was endorsed by the mayor. Would have won. Council at large. He was the Republican, even though it's nonpartisan. I talked with his opponent on election day, and I'm like, where is your opponent? And he goes, you know what? At the beginning of the race, I thought there was no shot I win. And now, I think there's a chance.
That's crazy.
This guy didn't even send lit.
Jeez.
He didn't door knock. He didn't send lit. He put some signs up, and nobody saw him in public. There was one candidate who I didn't even know was running until 2 weeks before the election.
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing?
Yeah, Matt, you were gonna say something.
I know for the Medina for the state representative position, I know there was a candidate that was thinking about running, and you hammered them with questions about your policies and other things like that, and they had no idea. They didn't even know what the position was. So just to bounce off, take the position seriously, know what the position is, know your policy. Even, if you don't know, just, instead of telling somebody I don't know, say, I'll research that, or, I'll get back to you that. And kind of just bouncing earlier, you got to stay engaged. These young Republicans like us, we don't feel that nobody cares about us. There is a recent event I'll just mention that we were at. The candidate, even, he saw us there, but he didn't talk to us. He didn't ask us for a picture. He didn't engage at all. So we just left. We just felt, why even care if you're not
Keep
going to
in
care
mind,
about us?
We were helping
Right.
run the event.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
right,
just.
I'm on the team. I'll admit that. I'm on their team, and
Yeah, it
I've
wasn't
told
just we
them
showed
that,
up to
yeah.
a random event.
Right.
We
And there
were
was like
helping
15
run
young
the event.
people there.
yeah, it was a big event.
But you would think in terms of pictures, that's kind of something you want.
It was a good event. I'll give him that. A lot of people there. He did engage with, some of the people, and I get, your busy schedule, but if you have young people there that are, we're gonna lead the way here soon. People are dying, and we're gonna take over. It's the truth. So if you want to, if you need help, if you want to win elections, you
And
have to stay engaged with younger people.
This same person, who you can probably figure out
yeah,
who we're
it's
talking
not
about
hard
by
to figure
now,
out, right?
likes to maybe he's a big fan of recycling. That might be why. Let's just say he gives a very, very, very similar speech as to when he may or may not have run for president in 2024.
Right.
But then also with that, you need the youth vote.
Yes.
And then this candidate goes to the Young Americans for Liberty conference. And if you don't know who I'm talking about by now, I think you live under a rock. And this is coming from someone who supported him when he ran for president.
Yeah, me too.
Allegedly, when he ran for.
Oh, yes. He
Allegedly.
may or may not have. But and you're going to go to this conference, which is young people who are in the liberty movement, are in the grassroots movement, who are a bit disenfranchised right now. And you're going to say that
They're a bunch of whiners.
they're whiners and that
We're doing good. We're off good.
he said that his generation is fine.
Right.
It doesn't. They're well off. They don't need anything. It's this generation. But then you're not going to give that generation your platform to say, well, what do you need?
Yeah, I'll quote him more directly. It was a little bit worse than that. It was a little worse than that. He said there's a lot of, basically paraphrasing, there's a lot of hardships coming this way. There's going to be a lot of economic issues. No matter what happens, no matter where things go with elections, with the economy, his generation is doing well for themselves. They're going to make it. It's you young people that are going to suffer. And like, you're saying this in a crowd of young people.
I take that as he thinks that he's the only person to save the state of Ohio. That it's him or the state's going to turn into a mess. Okay? The state is already a mess. Like, we could get worse, but not much. But young people don't resonate with that savior complex of, I'm going to save the next generation.
No. Right.
Because that's what every single other politician has said.
We don't like egos.
I don't get how
we're fed up with egos.
I don't get how people who are 40 years old don't understand that.
Right.
You're not that far off from us.
Yeah. And I'll say this specific candidate is the number one person I hear people say, I'm going to leave that blank.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
if you're with that campaign, you need Jeez.
I've already mentioned it.
Sorry, Matt, you're going to be in hot water here.
That's okay.
This is all said. This is all said with respect. This is that tough love a lot of us need to hear. But you need to address these things.
Absolutely.
Stop going after people that you know are already going to vote for you.
Exactly.
You need to win back the people you're losing.
Yes.
How many months do we have until election? Let's see. We've got
August.
So September, October,
November.
and it's like November 3rd or
right.
something. So
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
About 2 months.
three. We'll say 3 months.
Sure.
Oh yeah, 3.
3
I forget something.
He's got
I
that
go to-
Medina City.
I go to
math.
public school, okay? Bear with me.
We've got 3 months, 2 months till elections start.
Yeah, because early voting.
Yeah. I don't know if things can be salvaged at this point. It's going to be tough, but you've got 2 months to change that
I was
course.
right. It is 2 months.
And this is all said with respect.
Right.
From people that care about this country, from this state.
The state.
We want to see things get better here, but a lot of us young people especially don't want somebody insincere or out of touch representing us. And we have enough gripes with the Ohio Republican Party that we are willing to let you as a candidate lose in order to send them a message, in the hopes that people start resigning and we can start campaigning Central Committee members out.
Yeah.
Come 4 years from now.
Yeah.
People are willing to let you fall in order to stop the ORP and fix that. So 2 months, 3 months, whatever that number is, do what you can to take it seriously. Grow that grassroots humility. None of you are the saviors of this state. Nobody sees you as the saviors of the state. A lot of people have the attitude, if I don't win this, the Democrats are going to destroy our state. And that may be true, but you're not that special. Sorry to break it to you. You're not that special.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of venting today. A lot of things to say with all that. This is all said from a point of love, from people who care about our state. We've got to do better.
Yeah.
And maybe that means we got to start hosting trainings on this stuff, or working with organizations that actually train people on this. I know that's something I'll do for some of the YR chapters. over the next 2 years is helping train them,
With-
helping train some of the young people on how to be candidates for local positions and stuff like that.
With that, I'll give Cliff Maloney a shout out. He runs Citizens Alliance, helped deliver the victory to Trump in 2024. Very, very influential in terms of politics and winning races. He just came out with a book called Run Right, I believe, on Amazon, $20-30. It is the conservative playbook to win elections. Like, the left
Okay.
has a lot of resources. We now have a playbook on how to run from school board to Congress. Like, it is a very useful book. I'm going through it, and I love it.
I'm going to order
it's a
one
good
right
book,
after this.
But, like, please, if you're running for office, get that book, read it. It even gives you should do this about 6 to 8 months before election date. You should do this at this time, this, then. And it even gives you different tools and resources to look into data demographics of your district, different things, different whatever. And it's great. It's an amazing book. Yeah. Please take it seriously.
Yeah. Educate yourself. It's always going to come down to stay educated. Don't just get involved, but learn how to get involved effectively.
Yes.
Right.
That's always what it's going to come down to. And that's the main thing we wanted to bring up today. Like we said, had a lot to say today. There's a lot that everybody needed to get out in the open. A lot of wounds to open up so we can because you can't heal it if you don't open it up and treat it the way it needs to be treated. What are your thoughts? You'll have to let us know in the comments. Reach out to us on social media. How are you guys liking the podcast so far? Just in general, how are we doing? How are you liking this? Let us know. If you're liking it, please subscribe. Please like it. Hit the little bell doohickey. All that stuff that the YouTubers are supposed to say.
What did you say last episode? Was it smash the hand?
Smash the subscribe, honk the bell, high five the hand guy.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Just as long as you see a button that's not the thumbs down, click it.
Yeah.
That'll be
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they get it. I think
Yeah.
they're smart enough, James.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Don't. Yeah. Wow.
We don't need to go all Kamala on how to explain how YouTube works. I think they get it.
They get it.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future. We're hoping we can get some solid young people on this podcast here soon.
Yep.
Now that we're starting to get the hang of what we're doing, we're starting to figure out how this stuff works. We got big plans, so stay tuned. Let us know what you'd like to see in the comments below, and thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.